Hi everyone, back with me again, Mary, your host. Welcome back to our channel and the Sacred Spaces series. When you think of iconic Gothic cathedrals, images of Notre Dame or the Sagrada Familia may spring to mind. But have you heard of Cologne Cathedral? Cologne Cathedral, everyone knows this superlative building. It is 157 meters tall and the world's third largest Gothic-style cathedral, with 10,000 square meters of windows and 20,000 visitors daily. Some 300,000 tons of stones were used in its construction. Maintenance costs per day add up to around 30,000 euros. Its value priceless. But because it's unsaleable, it has a book value of 27 euros. About 100 people from the Domboot Cathedral Masonry Office work every day to maintain the cathedral as Germany's most popular landmark and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. When the cathedral is finished, the world will end, is an old Cologne saying. Even after the 632 years of construction, work thus continues on God's eternal building site. In addition to the often quoted facts, there is also a lot of mystery hidden in the important pilgrimage site for pious Catholics. And plenty of fascinating items for those interested in art and culture. Examples include, why did it take so long to build the cathedral? Why wasn't the cathedral damaged more severely during World War II? How does this massive vaulted ceiling hold up anyway? What's inside the roof? Are there any hidden storage rooms or secret places? And what's with the many windows? Some of it you will certainly learn during your visit, others only in one of the numerous cathedral tours, or after some reading of your own. That's because the cathedral harbors plenty of stories, legends, and curiosities. The cathedral is made of different types of stone, such as trachyte and sandstone. Many sculptures and canopies are made of limestone. As a result, the stonemasons and stone sculptors were of great importance, and they still are, because of the extensive amount of conservation work that needs to be done. The black patina has been a characteristic feature of Cologne Cathedral for centuries and is due to weathering, soot, and biofouling, and it should stay that way. Cologne Cathedral is known for its long drawn-out origins and long period of construction. Its building history, which began with the Three Wise Men and ended only in 1880 with its completion, as well as for many important works of art that you can see in the cathedral and in the cathedral treasure chamber. The Shrine of the Three Kings, which contains the relics of the Magi, is worthy of mention. As is the 4th century St. Peter's staff, which can be seen in the cathedral's underground treasure chamber, along with numerous other reliquaries, liturgical utensils, vestments, and manuscripts. The shrine takes the form of a large reliquary in the shape of a basilican church, made of bronze and silver, gilded and ornamented with architectonic details, figurative sculpture, enamels, and gemstones. The shrine was opened in 1864 and was found to contain bones and garments. Near the sacristy is the Gero crucifix, a large crucifix carved in oak and with traces of paint and gilding, believed to have been commissioned around 964 Archbishop Gero. It is the oldest large crucifix north of the Alps and the earliest known large freestanding northern sculpture of the medieval period. In the Sacrament Chapel is the Mailander Madonna Milan, Madonna, a high Gothic carving depicting the Blessed Virgin and the infant Jesus. It was made in the Cologne Cathedral workshop sometime around 1290. As a replacement for the original, which was lost in a fire, the altar of the patron saints of Cologne, with an altarpiece by the international Gothic painter Stefan Luckner, is in the Marienkapelle St. Mary's Chapel. After completion in 1265, the radiating chapels were immediately taken into service as a burial place. The relics of St. Irmgardis found a final resting place in the St. Agnes Chapel. Her trachyte sarcophagus is considered to be created by the Cathedral Masons Guild around 1280. Other works of art are in the cathedral treasury. Embedded in the interior wall are a pair of stone tablets on which are carved the provisions formulated by Archbishop Ingilbert II, 1262–67, under which Jews were permitted to reside in Cologne. The cathedral's colorful glass windows are especially impressive. They bring a vibrant intensity of color into the interior. Light-flooded cathedrals should make the omnipotence and closeness to God tangible, which explains the plethora of windows. From the very beginning, Cologne Cathedral was also designed with this idea in mind. And today, it has the largest window area of any church in the world, more than 10,000 square meters. They not only include colored surfaces, but also picture windows that tell biblical stories. One of the cathedral's oldest stained glass windows is the famous Bible window, which is located in the central chapel of the ambulatory. Some windows from the Middle Ages have been preserved to this day. Others have been restored according to old sketches, and still other windows, such as the Richter window, were created only recently. The Cologne Cathedral windows, their significance, their history, and their partial rescue from the bombs of World War II comprise an extensive chapter of the cathedral's history and play an important role in the impressive interior. The cathedral window, designed by the German artist Gerhard Richter, caused quite a stir. Inaugurated in 2007, it sparked enthusiasm as well as criticism. A total of 11,263 color squares in 72 colors were randomly arranged for the south transept window, which was destroyed during World War II, creating an abstract tapestry of color that changes continuously depending on the incidence of light. The 72 colors are colors that were also used in the neo-medieval windows of the 19th century, and thus are an essential element of the cathedral windows. If you're in Cologne and near the cathedral when the sun is shining, you should step inside and see the play of colors for yourself. Another successful interplay of tradition and modernity is hidden under the roof of the cathedral. Contrary to what you may assume, the rafters of the cathedral's roof are not made of wood, but of iron, which saved the cathedral from serious damage in World War II. This iron truss was the largest steel structure in the world. In 1860, to 30 years before the completion of the Eiffel Tower, to this day it carries the heavy lead roof. The cathedral and Cologne simply belong together, and the church shapes the cityscape. To a Cologne resident, the sight of the cathedral spires says that you're home. Today, the cathedral is Cologne's second tallest structure, surpassed only by the telecommunications tower. The cathedral covers almost 8,000 square meters of floor space and can hold more than 20,000 people. If you climb up the tower, you'll have a wonderful view of the city from the Cologne landmark. You will also pass Bell 1, which has acoustically represented the cathedral with its low C since 1923. But the cathedral is so much more than a site, a backdrop, a World Heritage Site, or a tourist magnet, because in the end, despite all the valuable exhibits and art objects in the cathedral treasure chamber, in the interior or on the facade, it remains a church with religious services and music that you can experience in this special atmosphere. The ground plan design of Cologne Cathedral was based closely on that of Amiens Cathedral, as is the style and the width-to-height proportion of the central nave. The plan is in the shape of a Latin cross, as is usual with Gothic cathedrals. It has two aisles on either side, which help support one of the very highest Gothic vaults in the world. Being nearly as tall as that of the Beauvais Cathedral, much of which was never built or had collapsed. Externally, the outward thrust of the vault is taken by flying buttresses in the French manner. The eastern end has a single ambulatory, the second aisle resolving into a chevet of 7 radiating chapels. Internally, the medieval choir is more varied and less mechanical in its details than the 19th century building. It presents a French-style arrangement of very tall arcade, a delicate narrow triforium gallery lit by windows and with detailed tracery merging with that of the windows above. The clear-story windows are tall and retain some old figurative glass in the lower sections. The whole is united by the tall shafts that sweep unbroken from the floor to their capitals at the spring of the vault. The vault is of plain quadripartite arrangement. The choir retains a great many of its original fittings, including the carved stalls. Despite French revolutionary troops having desecrated the building, a large stone statue of Saint Christopher looks down towards the place where the earlier entrance to the cathedral was, before its completion in the late 19th century. The nave has many 19th century stained glass windows, a set of 5 on the south side called the Bayernfenster, were a gift from Ludwig I of Bavaria and strongly represent the painterly German style of the time. Externally, particularly from a distance, the building is dominated by its huge spires, which are entirely Germanic in character, being open work like those of ULM, Vienna, Strasbourg, and Regensburg cathedrals. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Sacred Spaces. I'm Mary, your host. Until next time, may you find peace and beauty in all of life's moments. And remember, you can now support us through our channel by becoming a member. Bye for now, and God bless you always.